I'm 26 and I've never been in a relationship. I was worried. Maybe I'm not pretty? Maybe I'm stupid, uninteresting? What's wrong with me? Why don't people approach me to get acquainted? How can I find a guy and start a relationship? Why can't I start a relationship? Why don't people court me or ask me out on a date? I can't find anyone. How do I start dating? Where can I meet a guy now? What should I do? You know, it just so happened that I never dated anyone. During my school years, no one ever approached me to get acquainted. Boys didn't carry my school bag or pull my pigtails. It was as if I didn't exist at all. Who was I to the other sex? I was a bro. We climbed through garages together, and so on. I had girlfriends. I was basically always friends with girls. And somehow it turned out that, despite the fact that I was pretty cute at 16, no one ever approached me. Even if we were a group of girls, they would approach one, approach another, if we went out for a walk, for example, to the park, but not to me. And I was always surprised why not me. How did this happen, you ask me? People often think that my first love was painful, that someone broke my heart or that my love was unrequited. But the fact is that this never happened. I have never fallen in love with anyone. Nobody broke my heart. I don't know of any terrible cases. Nobody offended me. None of that happened in my life. Then the second option, that, let's say, I had some kind of abusive father. Or he left the family altogether, or something happened. Or, on the contrary, he stayed in the family and was terrible. But I had a wonderful dad. He never left, and in general, he always took care of me. He told me when I was 11 that if someone comes up to you and bullies you, tell me right away and I'll shoot his balls off. But then I was 13, then 16, then 20, and now I'm 26. And no one has ever come up to me. Until I was 20, it didn't bother me at all. And when I turned 22, I started wondering, why haven't I ever even gone on a date? I wouldn't say I have any high standards. I mean, I just want him to be relatively nice looking, clean and polite. So that he wouldn't be rude, that's all. I don't have any salary expectations. I don't have any incredible demands, like having an apartment, a car. It still doesn't work out somehow. It always seemed to me that a girl should be, like, a little unavailable. That a man should strive. And for some reason no one was trying to get to know me. And there weren't even any attempts to just get to know me. I didn't understand why boys who were about my age, peers, maybe a little older, weren't approaching me to get to know me. What's interesting is that men aged 40 and older always approach me to get to know me. The first time this happened was when I was 16. On the street, not far from home. Some guy approached me and then he followed me. It was really creepy somehow. I ran away from him. I was always brought up to be extremely polite, that I should respect my elders. I always tried to be polite to older men. And for some reason they always took it for flirting. Or if I politely tried to refuse them, for some reason they didn't understand that I was refusing them. Or maybe they were just those persistent psychopaths they continued to follow and pursue. It was scary. Then too, when I went to the cinema, for some reason it was always men the same age as my dad. And that's unpleasant. Many people think that little girls are flattered by the attention of grown-up men. But that's not true. By the age of 20, I realized that I had to get rid of the haughty expression on my face. I started dressing more like a girl. All sorts of dresses, frills, skirts, bows, and so on. I started smiling. Because a girl should not be tense, not burden anyone with her problems, and so on. I always tried to figure everything out myself, cope on my own, and not let anyone know about my worries and problems. And at the same time, I had this attitude that if you have problems, then you should not go into a relationship. It's not fair to burden another person with a bunch of your worries. First, sort out your problems, and then enter into a relationship. That's what I always thought. And you know what? Years go by, and I have one problem after another. And so, looking back, rethinking it all a little, there will always be problems. So if they are not very serious, then you can calmly enter into a relationship. Let's go back to the time when I was already 22 and I wanted to enter into a relationship. Still no one approached me and I decided to try a dating site. I never liked it. You come on a date, I always chose the cheapest coffee shop just to buy coffee. Because they say that women are materialistic, they want to eat at a man's expense. And that's why I always chose something that wasn't stressful, inexpensive, something to eat, the bare minimum, coffee and a bun for $3. I'd be able to pay for it myself if anything happened, or return the money if the guy suddenly started to claim that you were cheating me. It was kind of weird, like some kind of interview, like I was going through a job interview. Or the guys, even if they were cute and seemed normal in correspondence, it still wasn't right. Well, for example, one smells strange, for example, he doesn't observe hygiene. Well, it's impossible to be with a person who stinks. Or a conversation starts about mercenary women, and that you're not like that. And then you do something and you're already like that. The same as everyone else. Anyway, it was all very weird. I got really disillusioned with it all really quickly. All these online dates, all these dating apps. I ended up deleting everything. I no longer had the mental strength to continue searching and going on dates. Earlier, at 18, at 20, I would approach guys somewhere at school, on courses, in sports clubs and offer to go together. Either to the beach or to an art gallery for company, and they would refuse to go with me, saying that they had no time, that they had urgent matters. Even if it was a hot summer Sunday, the guy didn't want to go for a walk with me down the street. Some business would immediately come up, and I had no one to go with. Maybe they were shy? Maybe they were embarrassed, but they didn't tell me about it. I thought I wasn't in demand. I had to prepare to live alone forever. To go to work, but there was no work either. More precisely, there is work for the minimum wage, nothing more. I've already started to feel apathetic and depressed. I don't have the strength to date anymore. What's the point? It'll be the same thing. And now I'm 26 years old, but I haven't dated anyone. I had several stories at work that changed my attitude towards men only for the worse. At one job, a 55-year-old adult man was constantly snitching on me to his boss. That I was late or left early, that I had a long lunch, how many times I went to the toilet. He simply behaved like he was in kindergarten. At another job, an older man started pestering me. And the young guys didn't help me, didn't stand up for me. They laughed at me. I politely refused and then the older man got offended. And since he was distributing sections at work, he constantly sent me to sections where there was no income. After working for a month, I had to think about where to get money to find another job and live on something for another month until payday. It was disgusting. So I have no relationships, no family, no job.